night?
Basically, I was interested in health.
Yep. And which aspects?
Was there anything specific?
Well, I'm currently waiting for a gallbladder operation.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Cool.
now that refreshes my memory.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thanks. So gallbladder. So even the way you're sitting right now, are you on the, are you sitting level in that chair?
No.
No, you're leaning to the side on purpose, or is it, yeah? I'm just checking. Because so the gallbladder's on the right. So the gallbladder operation, it's probably going to relate. Like this is where it's going to get really tricky, and so many things are going to interrelate. So generally speaking, the gallbladder and liver, in Chinese medicine, they are the yin and the yang of each other. So the liver's the yang and the gallbladder's the yin, and they that's called the general or the governor in Chinese medicine. So that directs our qi around our body, directs our energy, and so the things that affect that on a negative level is a build-up of anger. And so, but that's more in the liver. The gallbladder is more, I don't know, because you're from our generation, you know, when people used to say, oh, this person's got a lot of gall. Do you know what that means?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's a good example. Like, so where did that word come from? You know, the Gauls were actually warriors that fought against the Romans. That's where the word originally came from. But it's almost like having the courage and the guts or the whatever to say or do what you need to do. And so, generally speaking, the liver gallbladder has got a lot to do with your direction in life in the long term, because it's general. So it's sort of. So I had a bit of liver depression a few years ago, and when I did the Chinese medicine, the doctors were diagnosing me with depression, and I was like, look, I don't have freaking depression, mate. You know, and it's like, because I was thinking mental depression, like a few of my friends had, and I go, no, I don't have what they have. So I go, I can't because I'm too arrogant, you know. And it's too arrogant to have mental depression. And so I was like, and then when I did the Chinese medicine, because I've been doing this stuff on and off for over 20 years, nearly 25 years now, and just wasn't going consistently enough, you know, to go up a bit and then I'd have to go back and get a normal job, and it was back and forward all the time. So then when I heard that, I'm like, okay, that's it. I've got to do this. Otherwise, you know, it's going to drive me to the grave. I'm going to just keep tinkering. This is my passion. This is what I'm good at. And I've got to find a way to do it on the financial level as well. And so instead of just doing it as a hobby or as a part-time business every 2 years and start it and then go back into some conventional business, I said, no, that's it. Gloves off. I'm doing it this time. So that's the gallbladder is a lot about having the gall to do what you need to do. And there's a lot of, I'm just trying to think of have you got any other conditions that the doctors tell you you've got?
Yes, they said I'm gluten intolerant.
Yeah.
And underactive thyroid.
Yeah. So they will. So they're all tying into the meridians and the meridians. So the underactive thyroid, that's a lot to do with the throat chakra. So again, this is not about you not expressing what you need to. You might do it good in some areas, like you might do it good with your friends or your kids or something, but then you don't do it well in other areas. And so it's like,
I'm the type to look after other people and worry about myself last.
Yeah, that's quite common. And that the gluten intolerance, these words are, your intolerance, that's in your stomach. So that's in your sort of getting intolerant. I would say getting intolerant in yourself about not listening to yourself, what you need to do for yourself. That's an intolerance between you and you, between your head and your gut. It's intolerant on the outside. It's intolerant for you listening to you. So your head and your heart, or your heart and your gut, or your head and your gut are fighting. So generally speak, the mind is sort of the wording, the thoughts, and the heart is more of the feelings. The feelings is where a lot of our power comes from, but they're very neutral. Our feelings can put ourselves second or third or last, quite easily. But our emotions, which is down in the gut, that's our gut intuition, our inner child or our soul, wants to put ourselves first in this life, Whereas the heart doesn't care. It goes, oh, I don't care. I'll just do it. I'll do it in
Everything's
this
fine.
life or the next
Everything's fine
life.
by the heart. I'll do that. Yep.
It is courageous, no matter what. It doesn't care, but then it gets a bit impersonal. It doesn't sort of join in. So it's like getting those three parts or three aspects to work together. So, and that's why you're very good with other people, because mentally you can see it all and that. But then giving it to yourself, that's a bit tougher. And you know, this is, I mean, most of the people on the site that we're doing like that. So because we like it, we like to serve. It's great. It feels great to serve people and everything else, but not if you're getting depleted. Not if you have the gallbladder out, which is not like in Western medicine, not a really bad operation. But in Chinese medicine, they don't very much. So it'll affect other
Sorry.
things. That's all right. Just
That's all right.
slap him on the head. That'll be your first test to see you doing for you. here's your first test. Give him another one, mate. Say, sit down.
He's come over. Come over to try to give you this lesson.
He's come over to test you out. No, don't tell him. Sit down.
Sit down.
He's got 3 kids. I've got 6.
I got 3
so
kids.
I know what it's like. My kids are all grown now, but I've got
holidays.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Debbie's sitting up straight.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's putting them in their place, listening to your feelings. It's like, hey, enough for now. You know, using that confident voice, but just do it as enough for now.
Yeah.
You know? Putting it, and that's how you start talking to yourself as well. So
yeah,
he's pushing you now to try and get.
He's pushing you now to give you this lesson.
He's doing it right now. This is what our kids do to us. Our kids do exactly the same thing. It's like as soon as you say you start working on something, they'll come over and test it on you.
Sure you
right
are, Mum.
there in the moment. It's like, sure, you're going to be authority. Sure, you're going to stand up and, you know. So these are programs we have from our past. We looked at our parents. A lot of the times you looked at the way your parents did. My parents were too strict, right? And that wasn't good. But then we go like a pendulum and we go not strict at all, and then we end up with the same results. So we go like I shouldn't know if I should say this online, but my daughter who's got my grandkids now, she saw me as too disciplined, and I was, like, in my delivery a lot of the time I was too harsh because I was trying to train them to be in a world that they didn't live in. But now she's too undisciplined, and she's like the kids are going to end up with the same result if she doesn't balance that out. So it's like, you know, what I eventually learned I took my discipline from my dad and my relaxedness from my mum, and I matched them up a little bit and gave it a good, like, just learn when to be more disciplined, and then that reflects on yourself. You know, you've got an inner child, which John's probably tuning into at the moment.
She's telling me that you need to do more for yourself. Stop locking yourself in the room.
Yeah. It's your house. Be what we call, you know, there's a matriarch and a patriarch, which is, do you know what matriarch and patriarch mean?
No, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so the matriarch's like the divine mother. She's like, and the patriarch's like the divine father. So it's a mother who's like very loving and nurturing, but very disciplined at the same time, and knows when to deliver both. And so if you start saying, how can I be the matriarch of this household? And then that will give, and then you'll start sharing. Basically, you're probably doing what most of us do, and what we used to do is you come into the room and you look at everyone. Say there's, how many kids have you got?
Well, I've got 3 and 2 grandkids.
Yeah, right. Cool. Yeah, I've got 6
That's
and 2
the one.
grandkids.
That's the grandkids.
But luckily, I don't look after them anymore.
They're master teachers.
And so
I'm lucky enough to raise both my grandkids.
Yeah. So, but you come in and you might look at them all right, and you go, okay, how do I get harmony here? And you look at everyone in the room, don't you, and try and make it work for all of them. Is that what you do, generally speaking, just in your thought process?
Yeah, because he's autistic too, so it's...
Oh, yeah. My ex had a autistic one too, and so they're extra. And my youngest daughter, she's got a missing chromosome called Cullen de Vries, so she's extra challenging on that psychic level. You know?
She's a pen master.
She's every button you've got to
she'll
push.
Nail you every
she'll
time.
Go, oh, you're not balanced, Dad. You're not connected up here. Let's come and challenge you right out there. And she's 16, and she's still like, you know, she still gets me. But yeah, so that's like they're the challenge. But what you're probably not doing is including yourself in the picture. So, you know,
I can understand that.
If the 2 grandkids are there and the 3 kids, and say your partner's there and some other adult, like you go, there's 10 people in the room, but there's not. There's 11. You haven't included yourself. And you see
Yeah.
it's trying to harmonize between all these people in the room, and they're not getting harmonized because you're not. So what I do now, and what a visualization I use, I pretend I'm standing behind me and looking at me and all the people. And I go, oh, you're the one in charge. You're the patriarch here, and you're not relaxed, and you're trying to tell everyone else to relax. And it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
You're not disciplined. You're not, if you don't put yourself first and you're the leader, that's when you're trying to make it all good for everyone, but it's not everyone because it's not you. You're not in the picture because you're looking from your eyes here forward, right? So you don't see you. You just see everyone else in the room. So it's
I seem to be happier when they're all doing things that make me happy, type of thing.
So when you're happy, they're happy. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
So if you look at it backwards, it's like, oh, when I'm happy, they're happy. Oh, but they're happy because they're doing things that are making me happy. No, maybe they're just happy because you're happy.
Maybe they're just happy because you're happy. You're not hiding in a room.
And they're not pushing you up to go and stop it, Mum. Stop it, Mum. Stop it, Nan. So it's a little thing that I really sort of looked at, because we'd have a share house and have a lot of people around, and I would often go, oh, it's not, everyone's not happy here, like they're not, and it's like, and I try and make everyone happy, and then everyone's sort of getting more and more tense because I'm tense because they're not happy, and I'm looking at everyone else because I'm looking from my eyes outwards. And then I started doing this visualization, and I stepped behind myself, pretended I stepped behind myself, and then looked at me. I'm like, first, before I looked at all them, I'm like, you're not happy, you're not relaxed. How about you relax and happy first, and then try and make them happy and relaxed after that? And then I did that. And it's like, so music, we always play music on the TV and that. And I would play the music that everyone else wants. And then it's like, hey, why don't you put your song on first? And if it pisses them off for a minute, let it piss them off for a minute. So, hey, I'm going to listen to 2 of my songs, and then we'll listen to yours.
I do it to him all the time. I walk back in. Not this music.
Not this music.
Come on, man.
And I used to always go, oh, no, I can't listen. My music's too old. It's like, and it's like, no, well, their music's too young then, if that's the case. It's you've got to sort of put yourself more in the picture, more and more.
I can feel, generally what we get is we can get feelings, right, when we're doing these sessions, and my heart triangle just exploded, right? So that sort of gives me a sense that you've got a lot of love there, a lot of heart, right? Yeah. But maybe that you're giving it to everyone else too much. Maybe you're not giving it yourself enough of that love, It's visualizing yourself in that picture is a way of just seeing that in action, right? Just going, oh, okay, cool. So, I can see what maybe I need to start.
And imagine the other one I imagine, because I'm a lot like you in that way, or was, I put everyone else there instead of me. And as soon as I started doing it, and I had to cut off a lot of people that I was friends and that I was helping a lot, because they were only taking little bits of my help. They'd ask me for help, and they were taking little bits, and it's like, no, unless they're willing to work for it, I'm not going to give to them anymore. I'm going to qualify them. You want me to help you clean up? You clean up what you can first, then I'll help you with the rest. That's things I call qualifying. And I do that well with people that I'm working with on this level, but I wasn't doing it very well at home and with my friends. So I started to do that more and more, and I cut off a lot of people. It was really hard for several months, because I was just the go-to guy when everyone had a problem. I'll channel for them, and I'll do this and I'll do that, and I was never getting paid. And my kids were getting the second 2 youngest. They were getting it because I wasn't as connected with them. They were getting to a time where I've only got another year or 2, and then they're going to be off doing their own thing if I don't get a connection with them. I've been trying for like 2 years and couldn't get it. As soon as I started doing that, within 2 months, all of a sudden they started hanging around more. They come into the lounge room instead of going straight to their rooms on their iPhones and stuff, and it's like, and they're sitting there. I'm like, what do you want? And they're just
This is weird.
They're sitting next to me. It's been 2 minutes now, and you haven't left the room. What are you doing?
What do you want?
And they're like, nothing.
What do you want?
I mean, you're just sitting here with me, enjoying what I'm doing. It's like, it was really bizarre for me at first. But they noticed that I was getting happy, that I was putting myself
There
first.
he is. He's found you. Look out.
I was putting myself first. And, at first they get a bit resistant to that, but then they enjoy it. They go, oh, this is good because you're taking the power. You are the patriarch of the house. And if they start doing it, they'll resist at first because they're used to manipulating you emotionally to get what they want. control dramas.
I'm guilty of that.
Which he's been working through.
I've been working through this exact thing for the past 3 months. You know?
So,
and I misidentified, having that goal and actually being the patriarchal father. I just identified it as being mean or not showing them enough love, and because I'm quite a good dad, but I was imbalanced there, but when reluctantly at first, John was like, okay, just try this, do this, try this way, be this way, be firm but still be loving. My kids, my whole situation with my kids, from a 4-year-old to the 14-year-old, just turned around. It took a few days. But my relationship with my kids is fantastic now in that regard. And as John says, they'll come and hang out and just sit there and just go, cool. I'm just like, well, you okay? And like, no, man, fine.
And you might, inside when you start doing it, you might make up these excuses that's being too hard. It's like there's tough love, and there's nurturing love, and then there's fun love. There's 3 sorts, and they need a balance of all 3. They need the fun love, they need the tough love, and they need the nurturing love. I'm sure you're quite good at the nurturing one. I'm very sure you're very good at that one, right? You're probably
Even I can feel that.
You're probably good at the fun one a lot of the times too, I'm guessing. The tough love, when it comes to them, not so much. And it's like, and then they feel that, and they feel threatened. The thing is that if they can manipulate you emotionally, then in their head, you're the person protecting them. You're the big adult, and they're smarter than you in their head. They're not, but they think they are.
They think they are.
So then they actually feel threatened. So when you turn that around, at first they get really resistant. Like, I want to, you're not buying into my emotional manipulation anymore, and they don't like it for a week or 2. But then you see after a couple of times, they start to feel more relaxed, and they settle into being a more natural kid. They can't push you around. At first, they get a bit grumpy because they're used to being the boss.
I'm hearing her inner child saying, "Finally, finally."
They're used to being the little dictators in the house, and all of a sudden you go, "No, enough. I bought that. I'm not judging you. I'm not blaming you. Yes. I played that game for too long. That's my fault, but things are changing from now."
And that was important for me, right? Like telling them, admitting, okay, I stuffed up. I messed up. I should have pulled this in sooner. But okay, let's go from today forward. This is how it's going to be. You
can't compensate for what you did before. Compensation just recreates what you did.
You can't look back in anger. You can't judge yourself.
You go, look, hey, I let that go. And, maybe it started off as a fun thing and it just got too far because you want them to be happy, because you see them, maybe they're not as happy in other places. But that's compensation parenting or compensation grandparenting. It doesn't work. It works short term. It works, it's like bribing them with lollies. It works for a while,
hiding in a room
until they get until they get a kidney infection. And it's
keeps telling me that hiding in a room still.
So it's like just bring that authority out. Say, hey, enough. And they're like, what? Who are you? Where did my mum go?
It sounds like one of my close friendships, because I felt like I've been walked all over, and then when I said enough's enough, they seem to put it around to make me feel guilty.
Yeah, but that's how you trained them like that over the years. You trained them to treat you as a doormat by allowing it, not by deliberately doing it, by allowing it, by going, I'm
go with the flow.
Yeah, I'm stronger, I'm tougher, I can handle it, they can't. That's what we call it. We call that our spiritual arrogance, right? I'm a child of God, I'm a son of God, and they're not. It's like we're all children of God. We're all, and we all have strength and we all have weakness. And so it's like, so we train them by us ignoring our own gut and our own heart when we need to say stuff. And so to correct that, you can say exactly what you said and say, hey, look, I might have caused this by allowing it to get away. But no more. I'm changing the rules now, but take some of the responsibility. Okay, I'm changing the rules now, and that's my fault. I let this go on for too long, so I'm not judging it. The rules are changing, and it's going to work better for all of us. Even if you don't like it now for the next week or day or whatever, you will like it. Especially with the kids, it's easier with the kids than the friends. But that's why we train ourselves with the kids. That's the real. I used to call my little 6 ninjas. The little 6 ninjas when it comes to teaching this stuff. I would teach it, and then I'd come back, and then the kids are just smashing me with it. It's like, I've just been teaching 50 adults this thing, and I can't do it with 6 children. And it's like, because it teaches you to do it with yourself. So that, and This is so if you don't like your weight or your size as well, this is often a cause of that. You know, I haven't got enough time for me. I haven't got enough.
Yeah, so true.
I haven't got enough time. So the subconscious picks up, I haven't got enough time. I haven't got enough space. And the body hears that and then just starts retaining water and holding on to everything that's coming in. It's like it's got most of the time, it's got nothing to do with the amount of food or what food we're eating.
Nothing.
It's got to do with the body's hearing, I haven't got enough time. I haven't got enough. All it hears is I haven't got enough. So everything that you consume, and even if it's just water, it'll just hold on to it. Go, oh, I can't let this go because I haven't got enough. I don't know why she keeps saying I haven't got enough. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that person up there saying I haven't got enough?
It's like I don't have, like I want to try diets and stuff. It's like I have no willpower to stay with it.
Yeah, you do have willpower. You got willpower to be a doormat. You got willpower to do it.
You got willpower to hide in a cupboard.
You got willpower to let every person walk over you and say, "See how strong I am." You've got a very strong willpower. You just know that the diet's not going to work because it's not about the diet.
It's not about the diet.
It's like
okay.
So it's
that
like
makes sense.
you've got a strong willpower, and that's the misidentify. You've got a really strong willpower, but you're not going to have willpower to stay with a diet because you've been on diets before and you put weight on. It's like, this is like most people. I used to do it. I'm like, I can eat whatever I want. I can't eat everything I want, but I can eat whatever my body wants if I listen to it. I can eat chocolates and chips for a week and lose weight. You know, other times if I'm not listening, I'll have one packet of chips and a little chocolate bar at night time, and the next day I'm like,
bloated up.
Just for like the whole week. For a month ago, that's all I ate for a week, chocolate and chips, and I lost weight. So it's like, but that's when I was listening to my body instead of telling my body. And so it's different between sort of, you know, and I eat that food to try and compensate. I used to eat that food to try and compensate for the lack of time for me. It's like, I got no time for me. Give me some chocolate and chips. There's my little play, you know. So that's sort of letting our playfulness and letting that time for us. But if we learn how to do it, if we learn how to balance it with the other people, and start going, hey, I'm going to give myself some time because I'm the leader in this house. You are the patriarch, whether you want to do it or not. And it's like,
I reckon you could raise your voice pretty well too.
Yeah, I'm reckon you could do it whatever you want to. It's like, okay, enough. And it's like, just bring out that patriarch voice. And she goes, okay, now everyone settle down. Give me 10 minutes and then I'm going to come play with you all, right? And otherwise, we're going to drag this on all day, and I'm going to be grumpy, and you're going to be grumpy. Why don't you just go to your room and let me do what I need to do? Don't even say why. Go to your room, let me do what I do, and then we can both play together because I want to play with you guys. I want to have fun too. But if I'm trying to clean up and you guys keep making a mess behind me, it's going to take all day. So why don't you all go to your room and play for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, let me do this, and then I'm going to come out and I'm going to play with you because I'll have space and time. Just little simple things like that will start changing. I can even see, as I say these things to you, I'm watching your posture, I'm watching your body shape change, and that's how I recognize it in myself and other people. So I know I'm on the money because I'm watching your posture, I'm watching the smile on your face. These are our subtle subconscious signals that tell us this.
And, you know, and if you find it, you know, initially maybe you've come out because you've not done it for a while and you've been really harsh, or you think maybe you delivered that really harsh, you know, just leave it at that, give them a few minutes. And then what I found useful was when you go back to them, maybe 2 or 5 minutes later, sort of drop down to their level, you know, so you're not, you know, just talking down at them. Just drop down to their level, you know, speak from the heart and just explain, okay, you know, okay, maybe this is, you know, how I'd let it go in the past, like what we were saying before. And because they don't feel as threatened.
You know? So sometimes you'll do the pendulum like we all do as parents, especially when you've got as many as us. and it's like, and then you let it go too far, and then you're like, all right, enough, and you blow up, and it's like, and then they come out, and then you feel bad because you were too harsh for their size, especially if they're littler ones. And then you go, okay, the delivery was too harsh, not what I said. The delivery was too harsh, and I'm a big person, and I can be threatening. So I would go in and like John was saying, I'd go into the room and then I'd kneel down and I'd get on the eye level, get them on eye level and go, hey, I meant what I said, but I apologize for saying it with that big scary voice. But I need to change this and you need to change this and we need to change the way we're working. But I'm not backing down on what I said. I'm just backing down on the way that I said it. I said it too harshly. So, but listen, because this is the new way we're going to, and you get down onto their eye level and say it to them. See, a lot of the time when you do blow up, it come back at eye level, but don't back down on what you said. say, hey, I might have said that. I probably said that too loud, and I probably said it too harshly. But I meant what I said.
Yeah.
I should have said it a bit softer. Yeah. But this is the new rules, and I know it's hard to get used to it, but it's going to be more fun for me. Then it's going to be more fun for you, and we can all have more fun. Because I really do think you're the fun grandmother, mother. You know, if you had enough time for yourself, and if you had enough space, and this is all going to affect. This is the goal to do it your way. The gallbladder. Okay. This is symbolic for the gallbladder. This is symbolic because the liver, gallbladder, is the general. That's what they call it, or they call it the prime minister or the sergeant. You know, it's the one that it's supposed to direct. So it directs the chi around the body, and therefore the stomach, the other issues are all going to be there because the liver, gallbladder. That's the one that. So when you get angry, that pushes the chi. Normally the chi runs up the front of the body and down the back. But when we need to get angry, the liver actually reverses the direction of the chi to make us get forceful and push forward. Yeah. And so you're probably judging that anger because of the pendulum effect, too nice and being a doormat, and then too harsh. And it's like just never judge the harshness. Never judge what you said in the harshness. Just maybe the way you said it. Okay, that delivery was too much for this situation. But that's partially my fault because I let it go too far. But you're also pushing. You're pushing my buttons, and I let it go too far. So it's both our responsibility. So what I said, I mean, but I apologise for saying it so harshly and yelling at the top of my voice or whatever.
And then you just acknowledge that with yourself. Okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing it more and more, and I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it more and more. And just sort of talk to yourself, talk to your inner child. You know, just say, yep, cool, thank you for showing me that. I am getting better at this more and more.
Yeah, exactly. So talk to the body. Say, thank you, gallbladder, for showing me that I need to change this. Thank you for this message, even if I can't
sounds
see it.
Whack, hey?
It sounds really whack.
Trust me.
You just say, thank you, liver, gallbladder, for showing me what I need to. Even if I can't hear it clearly, thank you for this message. It's always a message from the body. The body's always giving us messages. And it's like, if we can go, thank you for this message, even if I can't interpret it, I know there must be a message in here. Yep. Thank you for the message, and I'll start listening more and more. Yep. And you just sort of have that like inner dialogue going. Thank you for the message.
You can do that behind a closed door if you like.
If this sounds, that crazy stuff that they just said sounds true. It's like, is this a message about me having more gall to do what I need to do? If that is, thank you for that message. And even though I'm scared, and I'm going to start working with it. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Don't try and do the pendulum going straight to, I'm going to be full of gall now, because that's going to cause the opposite effect as well. But just sort of let it come out and just give yourself some grace that, hey, sometimes you're going to go too far, and that's okay. You can apologize and pull it back a bit, but just keep to the word, stick to your word. It's not what I said, it's the way that I said it. It's like I said it too harshly, and then get down on their eye level, especially with the kids. Once you start doing it with them, it gets easier and easier with the adults. Yeah, it's like if you can do it with the little ninjas,
you can do it anyway.
but you can do it with them. You can do it. When I can get the 6 kids going, I know I can go out and speak to 10,000 people and manage all 10,000 adults. If I can manage 6 kids. So yeah, test this out because we're nearly out of time. Yep. So test these out and give them a run. Just as we say to everyone, don't believe it or disbelieve it. Say, what if what those guys said was true? What if I could start doing that? And what if that changed things and changed this? How I do know that it has happened for several people that they have changed things that they were going to get an operation for within a week, just by changing their attitudes and changing a few of those simple little ways. The body is miraculous if it's in the right energetic situation.
For me, I had a bit of gallbladder as well. I used to get, because the gallbladder meridian runs all the way up quite up, and I used to get it across the top here as well, like these pains and sort of hypersensitivity. And that was all around how I was dealing with my children, particularly one of my children. And when we identified it and caught it, it just stopped like overnight.
It had been having that pain for years. And it's like, once he stopped it, because the gallbladder meridian is one of the longer meridians. It runs right up the side of the body, over the head like 3 times. And you can feel that pain anywhere along that meridian. So the meridians is for the Chinese medicine where they do the acupuncture lines.
Okay.
So when we say gallbladder, the gallbladder and the liver affect the gallbladder meridians they affect each other, but they're not. You could have gallbladder problems in your actual gallbladder and not have a gallbladder meridian problem, and vice versa. You could have a perfect, like, you know, I used to get my liver tested regularly. They're saying it's fine. It's like, it shouldn't be fine. I drink too much. I'm angry all the time.
I got 6 kids.
My liver meridian was like always, you know, playing up, and I could tell by the way I was stretching it that it was affecting that meridian. So the two are not always tied in, but usually there is some effect between the two. Same
because I do get niggly pains on the left when I get seriously uptight.
Yeah, so the left side will be, you're getting uptight. The pain is about you. You're getting uptight with yourself for not saying what you need to say. Well, you stand up, woman. You're inside. You're going, well, you stand up and do what you need to do. You know what you need to do. Get up there and get in there. It's like, and so then you get upset with yourself for not doing that. So that's why the pain, because the meridians run on both sides. So even if it's a gallbladder meridian, even though the gallbladder's on the right, there's the meridians on both sides. So you're probably feeling it because it goes right up the side of the leg from the toe, right up the side, over the shoulder, and over the head like 2 or 3 times. It's a massive meridian. So, and you can feel that pain anywhere along that meridian sometimes. So just in those niggly pain times, go, what if I, and just imagine it, don't actually do it. Just say, what if I just went out there and said, hey, enough, we're not doing this anymore. What if I said with a strong mother voice, the archetypal mother, and it's like, what if I said as an archetypal matriarch mother.
Get it right, John.
Yes. And what if I said, like, hey, enough of this, we're changing it. I'm going to give you tough love, and I'm going to give you nurturing love, and I'm going to give you fun love, all balanced. I'm going to give you all of them in the right time at the right moment. And it will take a little bit of adjustment. Don't expect yourself to get it right straight away. You might push back a little bit the other way, and you can always correct that. And go, okay, I went too hard that time. I yelled too loud for you. And that wasn't actually about you.
Two black guys, probably a bit too much.
That was about my friend across the road who I should have yelled at. No, all came out in this one situation. So, but that's all right. If you correct it, they don't mind. They go, yeah, okay, yeah. So, because what we normally do is we realize it's too hard, and then we say, oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. And they hear, I shouldn't have said what I said. Not, I shouldn't have said the way I said it. I meant what I said, and I said it too loudly, or I said it too abruptly. And that will start to change very quickly. So just say, hey, what if I try this? What if I give it a go? You know, it's not, you've still got to wait for the operation. You've still got time. So what if it changed it before then? Just go to the what if. Don't believe it or disbelieve it. Because if you try and believe it and you don't, it doesn't work. It's like, maybe it's true. Maybe. What if it's true? What if this could work? What if this could change? Don't go, yeah. Like, even if your head believes it, right? Your heart doesn't, or your emotions don't. And you go, yeah, that's true. It's like, yeah, that sounds true. But let me see if I can prove it to myself. Let me practice some of this.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
So give it a run. And if it works for you, please we'll share this video on Facebook, and we'll tag you. And just comment if you thought it was a good reading, because we're using this to promote our other readings and that. And so we're using this for promotional. And then even after you've tested it for a week or two, and you go, hey, there's that thing, and come back,
let us know.
And comment on the video and say, hey, I've been practicing this for 2 weeks and it's changed all of this stuff. Really, thanks, guys. So that would be much appreciated if you did that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Okay. Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thanks so much.
Hope you go well. Hope we helped you avoid the operation.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.